بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حدثنا عبد الله بن يوسف قال أخبرنا مالك عن هشام بن عروة عن أبيه عن عائشة أم المؤمنين رضي الله عنها أن الحارث بن هشام رضي الله عنه سأل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله كيف يأتيك الوحي؟ فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحيانا يأتيني مثل سلسلة الجرس وهو أشد علي فيفصم عني وقد وعيت عنه وقال وأحيانا يتمثل لي الملك رجل فيكلمني فأعي ما يقول. قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها ولقد رأيته ينزل عليه الوحي في اليوم الشديد البرد فيفصم عنه وإن جبينه. My respected elders, young brothers, my friends and my those mothers and sisters who was listening at home. This is the circle and gathering of Bukhari, the most authentic book after the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today in this gathering, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have managed to read the very second hadith from the chapter Kitabul Wahy, the chapter of revelation. This second hadith has been narrated by al-Mu'mineen, the mother of all the believers, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. In this hadith, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha mentions that our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked by Harith bin Hisham, O Prophet of Allah, tell us, how does Wahy comes to you? Just relate to us the method, the way, the form, the mode in which it comes to you. Tell us this. Before I explain this, I would like to draw your attention towards an important issue, and that is the Risalat and prophethood. Remember, the chain of prophethood, messengership began from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, and it ended with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now remember, all those prophets and messengers who came, someone may think, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose them on the basis of their piety or on the basis of their family, caste, or on the basis of their wealth? Keep one thing in your mind. Nabuwat, Risalat cannot be acquired and obtained on the basis of one's piety. Nabuwat, Risalat is the grace of Allah. It is the result of the grace of Allah. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he wished to choose someone for this station, he would do so. He would not look at one's piety. He would not look at one's face. He would not look at one's family, to which family he belongs to. But one thing we need to keep in our mind, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to choose someone for Nabuwwat, from his creation, from the birth till his last breath, he was under the divine protection. He was under the divine protection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected that very personality whom Allah decided and wished to choose for this station of prophethood and messengership. Their morals, their characters were under the supervision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalatahu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, Allah knows best where to place the prophethood. Whom to choose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So it began from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam and it ended on Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now after Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, till the day of judgment, there is no prophet to come. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah used to say, if someone claims after Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam to be a prophet, and another person says to him, what is the proof upon your prophethood? The one who asked for the proof, he becomes kafir. The one who asked, what is the proof upon your prophethood? He becomes kafir. The one who claimed to be a prophet, he becomes prophet. He becomes kafir. But the one who asked, can you give me some proof upon your prophethood? He becomes kafir. Why? Because clear cut. It's mentioned in the Quran that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last messenger. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it was the demand of the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He created the human being and He sent Adam to the earth. Now the demand of the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was to guide the human being. And how He done? He sent the prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not talk to every individual. He does not communicate every individual. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the prophets. From Adam till Ibrahim alayhi salatu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this chain came. And he chose them so that they can pass on the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the mankind. Now how did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala communicate the prophets? This is the question. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala communicated the prophets? This is the question now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He communicated the prophets through different modes and forms, through different ways. There was one way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would let the words fall into their hearts and their minds. And He would put some subject in their minds, in their hearts. And this would happen either in the dreams or while they were awake. And remember, the dreams of the prophets are also wahy. When Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when he took his son Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam to slaughter, where did he get this hukum from? Did Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came? He came to know, he saw a dream that he is slaughtering his son. So the dreams of the prophets are also declared and cast as the wahy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was one of the forms that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would communicate His prophets. He would put something in their minds. In many ahadith, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ulqiya fi ra'i." Something has been infused in my heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would put in some subjects in the mind of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or some words in the mind, in the heart of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this in my mind. So this was one of the ways of communicating the prophets. Another way was hijab, from behind a curtain, from behind a veil. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He even, remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not talk face to face, even to the prophets. He does not talk face to face and directly. on the Mount Tur, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when he heard the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he requested Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, let me see yourself. Allah said, you can't see me. In this dunya, no one can see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This vision which we have has no ability and energy to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when we will go into Jannah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give, He will strengthen this vision. And then this vision, our eyes will be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even the angels, they even communicate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from behind the curtain. When Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, on one occasion I came very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was asked, how much? You know what he said? He said, I was very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but there were 70,000 curtains, veils between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, I was very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was one of the forms of talking to and communicating the prophets. And the third form, which was very common, and that was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send one of the angels who would pass on the message of Allah to the prophets. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for this task, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Jibreel alayhi salam. It was the duty of Jibreel alayhi salam to bring the messages of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his messengers and to his prophets. Now in this hadith, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was asked, the Prophet of Allah, tell us, how this wahi comes to you? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, the first thing he said, أحيانا يأتني مثل سلسلة الجرس. Sometimes, there are times, there are occasions when the wahi comes, it is revealed to me like, I hear the sounds, like the ringing of bells. And Prophet ﷺ said, this form of wahi was the hardest for me. It was the hardest form and mode of wahi. Now the question is, why did Prophet ﷺ, he likened this form of wahi to ringing of bells? What was the reason behind? Why did he say this? He gave an example. He said, sometimes I hear the sounds like the sounds of when the bells are ringing. It's a very similar the sound I hear. And this is the hardest the part of the wahi. The reason behind this has been explained by the ulama. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His mercy upon them. Those who have passed away, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His mercy upon their graves. And those who are alive, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and you all to benefit from these scholars. They say the reason Prophet ﷺ, he likened this wahi, this form of wahi with the ring of the bells. When the bell rings, the sound of the bell is very continuous. Similarly, this form of the wahi is also continuous. When it starts, the sound of this wahi, it continuously, Rasulullah would be able to hear this sound. And the second reason he mentioned this, when the bells are ringing, and the listeners, they cannot determine from which direction the voice and the sound is coming. Similarly, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks, the listener, he would not able to determine from which direction the sound is coming. So for this very reason, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam likened this form of wahi to the ringing of bells. So he said, this was the hardest form. Sometimes there were occasions when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be, he would be riding an animal, and the wahi came. In this form, it is mentioned the weight of the wahi. The animal would not able to bear it. He would sit down. The animal on which Rasulullah would be riding, it would sit down. And that in Saheb, he mentions, he said, on one occasion, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa was resting, his head on my lap. And while he was resting, the Wahy came. The Wahy comes, and he said, when the Wahy came, I felt as if my thigh is going to break into pieces. The weight of the Wahy, because I could not bear it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even in this hadith, at the end of the hadith, Aisha radiallahu anha mentions, when this form of the Wahy was over, I would notice the drops of the sweat on the blessed forehead of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rolling down like pearls. Now, this was one of the forms, and this was the hardest form of the Wahy revelation. And there were another 4 forms of Wahy. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, inshallah, we will cover them in our next gathering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. We're sitting here. Before we conclude the talk, if you remember when Maulana Bilal Saheb came, and he mentioned one thing in his talk. He said, he will tell you this dua of karb. The dua of karb, which is in the Bukhari. And he even mentioned one incident of a pious person who was in a jail, and another pious person saw a dream. The Prophet ﷺ is saying to him, go tell him to read the dua of my book. Go tell him. So this pious person said to the Prophet ﷺ, if he asks me which is your book, so he said, tell him the book of Imam Bukhari, Sahih al-Bukhari. And in the Sahih al-Bukhari, this dua has been narrated by Ibn Abbas that he said, whenever Prophet ﷺ was facing difficulties, he would read this dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the barakah of this dua, he would remove the difficulties. Inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this dua is very, as Maulana Bilal Saheb mentioned in his talk, that this dua is very easy to learn. Very easy to learn and very simple. And inshallah, I will send this dua on the WhatsApp groups, and then you can learn it. And it is in the Bukhari, in the chapter Kitabul. So inshallah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, after the Bayan, I will send this dua on the WhatsApp groups. And then inshallah, those will pass on to one another. And inshallah, if you learn it, and please do learn it. And inshallah, as Maulana was saying, is beyond everybody in this dunya, people are in griefs, people are in difficulties. So, by the barakah of these du'as, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we can hope for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will remove our difficulties. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our sitting here. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammed wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا